Welcome back to Lesscashmoremash. My name's Tom.
And I am Mike.
And today, Subscriber Sample Saturday. So what are we doing for Subscriber Sample Saturday? Today is brought to you by Danny Dodd. Thank you, Danny, for these donations. This happens to be sample 12 if you're following along at home. So we had already done this because he had sent in double samples. So we thought it would be fun to grab the second sample and put it up against something that we have. So his sample is actually Heaven's Door Homesick Blues. He got it for $80. It is a bourbon, 122.7 proof. It's aged 7 years, not finished, and it is 70% corn and 30% wheat. So we thought it would go up against a Larceny. So I happened to just grab one that was similar in proof. It was a little bit higher. I thought it was the same. I thought it was 125. So this is C924. This comes in at 125.1 proof. We got it for $65.99. So I don't see a lot of the Heaven's Door, especially the higher proof ones. But then again,
I will say, yeah, I agree with you there, especially the higher proof ones.
Right.
Heaven's Door is out there, but they're not usually at this.
Right. And I do remember, I'm pretty sure when we did it, it's been a long time ago that we actually liked it. So we went back to the old Blind Fight Friday rules. I poured for Mike. He pours for me. We're both out of the room when we did it. So we may or may not be drinking the same thing at the same time. You're going to see what we're drinking at this, but this just adds another element of complication because, we give tasting notes and we might be drinking two different things. So it's always...
Ooh, I said to say it's a very good nose. There's something unique in this nose, though.
Oh wow! I'm almost getting savory. I almost got like the double oak.
It's kind of sugary to me a little bit, but
yeah, I'm almost
in a good almost a syrupy sweetness.
Yeah, and to me, whatever. And again, we may or may not be drinking the same thing, but on the initial nose,
remember that point.
It almost to me gave me that butter on a steak smell. You know
what I mean? I can. Mine's more in the sweeter land, but.
That is a way different taste than I was ready for. It's very.
There's something different in that.
I'm getting grain in this one.
In the end.
No, mine was like when I rolled it on my tongue. Not the wet hay or the grass, but it's actually like I'm tasting like the wheat in it. Like I'm tasting the grain on that initial one. My first sip of the day. I know I'm drinking 120 something. No, I got to say that. It's
doing that.
Staying in my mouth, whatever this is. Man, I am getting that buttery, that savory, like almost like a brown butter. You know what I mean? If you brown it up.
I know exactly what you mean. There's a little nut in there too. I'm not disappointed with that. That's actually very tasty. And
that is way off.
And I agree with you.
That I was expecting. There's a twang in that one.
It's got a little tweak in the middle,
right at the end. Right? No.
Middle end.
You kept saying no. It has that grain forward in the front, but I couldn't figure out in my little pea brain what I was tasting, and I'm getting a little hint of black licorice right at the tail. A little hint of it.
See, I don't get that. So to me, it's a very tasty little ride.
And it's funny because I don't know how you don't get that because it's such this is a hint of it though. It's not dominant. I'm going to have to see when I go back. We'll go on to glass number 2. I'm not saying I don't like it. I've grown accustomed to when it's not just straight black licorice. If I'm just getting a little tail, or even when I get a little tail of like the skunk cabbage on the scotches, it can fight through it since it was such a good pour, but it's not.
And that flavor doesn't come through in the taste as much. The skunk cabbage nose doesn't come through in the flavor as much. So that's
just a freak thing that I get on a couple of scotches we've had, but
pretty sugary too.
Now see the nose on this one, whatever glass 2 is for me, isn't as pronounced as the nose on one.
You definitely have to work harder.
Yeah, okay. And again, we may or may not be doing the same thing.
Mine's the same way because I was going to say the same thing. Yeah. You got to actually work harder.
This is because I kind of just jumped out.
Whatever it did, glass and it was something a little different in that one. Not in a bad way because I actually enjoyed it.
It's black licorice. That's what was different in that one.
I did.
I like that one though. This one's nice too. I figured this was going to be the case. I don't remember disliking pretty much anything that he sent in for the most part. Sometimes they were tricky and they underwhelmed us. Although you're drinking a proof on this one too. This one's
you're definitely drinking a proof here too.
Yeah.
There's not as many flavors in my 2 as there was in 1. And there was a different one, weirder kind of than in 2.
I was going to say, I will agree with that statement so far, but I don't know if I liked all of the flavors I got in 1. Do you know what I mean?
I kind of did. Okay. And the nose was definitely better in 1.
It definitely, I agree with that. I wonder if we're drinking the same thing today. There's almost a fruity aspect in 2, though, in the front. Like I'm almost getting like it's almost like a caramel apple. Is kind of what I'm getting, like in the front of the.
2 might be drinking a little hotter.
2 has a ton of caramel on there, though. That has a ton of flavor. It might not be a change in flavor. It's more of like the same flavor throughout, but man, it coats and stays.
I'll agree with my 2 as well. It's kind of it definitely does stay.
Oh yeah.
And then by me saying it drinks a little hotter, that maybe is part of it as well.
Right.
I'm gonna have to go back, but
we can.
I kind of did like the difference in the 1.
I'm gonna have to see because now I'm gonna be going back. To
one's nose is way better than 2.
I'm gonna use one arm if you're gonna take my other one. Oh man, it is crazy on the nose.
It's yeah.
I'm getting caramel popcorn right now.
I can go.
That's what I'm getting right now. I didn't get that on the way through.
It's still in my head that when you go to the maple syrup factory and they're cooking and
we did it with the Scouts. Yeah,
I kind of have that.
I can go with a maple syrup, but put that on like a popcorn. Like I'm
when
smelling.
You said it, I was like, I can go there too.
Yeah, I'm smelling it.
There's a lot of different flavors in this.
That black licorice is coming through though. Woo. It's there now.
I don't get the black.
Man, I don't know how you don't. I think I have some over there. I ought to make you eat one. Oh yeah, no, it finishes with black licorice. This one, that's gonna be. I'm torn because I do like the smell and I do like the flavor right up until I swallow.
I could almost give you the end residue. Might be a light black licorice.
Yeah, that's the only thing that's wrecking me on that pour.
But I like the nose way better.
And it's got like that grainy. When I roll it on my tongue, it starts breaking a little bit, kind of like some of the owls did, but not in a bad way. But it gives you kind of like that grain flavor. But then it finishes with a black licorice, and I don't think I love that.
But I'm kind of liking that little bit of a flexible ride.
It's definitely a difference in ride because it's a change in flavor. There is, sure.
Front to back, there is a little. This is kind of, and again, I don't like using the one note Charlie, but it's not as flexible as 1 is. I don't believe.
No, it's a more solid flavor throughout the whole thing. There is a nice oaky finish on there is 2 though. That one does end with more of an oaky finish, where 1 ends with, to me, I'm really getting that black licorice. And if I was a black licorice liker, this would be a dynamite pour.
I'm kind of tossed because, I talked myself into the ride in 1 has more flavors than 2.
It does.
2 might be a little proofier. One's nose is definitely smoking.
Mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of variety packs in this nose.
Oh, that black licorice is coming hard to the top now. It is all through that. This is like Noah's Mill black licorice. Like this is getting. Getting
I just tried that not too long ago the other day, and I don't get that. So I don't mind it. You know, it's a decent.
I know I've said this before, and I'm going to put you on a spot again because I think it's funny because you go, I don't know, but then what do you get? If you're not there's a predominant black licorice flavor in there. So if you're not getting black licorice, something's got to pop into your head. You've got to get some kind of a flavor because that's a unique flavor.
I said unique.
Yeah.
It doesn't pop into my head though as black licorice.
Okay. No, I could be 100% wrong. Don't get me wrong, but that's what it really is. That
it definitely
flavor.
Jumps in your head.
Oh yeah.
So when I go to the unique, most of the time here in black licorice land,
yeah,
So
there is definitely, I wish I could just get into your mind for a minute, minute.
I
get
keep
lost
trying,
in there,
but you would get lost.
I'm just kind of curious to see what flavor because you got to be tasting the same thing as me, but it's got to be like it's really like I close my eyes, I'm like, oh, that's black licorice for sure.
I think
Danny, leave a comment down below if you don't mind, if you're watching this, to see if you get black licorice out of this Heaven's Door. I'm even getting it on the nose now. Like the more it sits in the glass, the more it's changing.
I don't know if I don't not like that better though.
No, I hear you. Again, we don't have to agree.
But I
don't know if
I think I have Heaven's Door on my left, and I think I have Larceny on my right.
Mm-hmm.
For a guess of before I'm out of sips. But
no, I agree. I think that's where I'm at. But for flavor, for me, one is good, but I can't get past that black licorice because it's getting stronger and stronger. I think I'm leaning towards 2, though. Even though 1 is, I agree with you, it has more flavors, it has more complexity, but the problem is I don't like that grainy flavor in the middle, and I don't like the black licorice. But it is more complex ride than what 2 is.
And honestly, correct. I'll agree with that. And price-wise, they're pretty close. So it's not like you really had to go way out of your way. I kind of like the variety pack of the ride today with the different, especially the nose and the flavor in my 1. But I'm not upset with 2 as well.
No, I agree. I don't hate 1, but let's put it this way. These 2 are sitting on the shelf. I'm not grabbing 1. I will drink 1, but I'm grabbing 2 first. You know what I mean? Because I don't like that black licorice.
I would because it doesn't.
If you don't taste it, right?
Just like the other one. Excuse me, over there that you don't like. That doesn't bother me. So it's
no. Again, so let me take one more sip. You guys leave a comment down below if you have had one of these.
I wish though we did have better picks of
Heaven's
proof.
Door.
Yeah, because most of them are they're not high. They're like 90, and then they're still fairly pricey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you can pay 65 or whatever that says for here, and then you're gonna 90,
right?
Almost the same price. That's
no right.
If I'm out shopping for myself, then it's like why would I do that? I'd get this.
Right.
So
that's why I kind of wanted to put this up because there's a Larceny readily available. It may not be this one, but there's usually one. Pretty much somewhere.
If it's not,
you know what I mean, and it was around the same price and around the same proof, right?
Oh, Woodford. Those are always common on every shelf,
right? So I just figured this would be a good contender. So we might have a draw today, or we might not because it all depends on. We might not be drinking the same thing at the same time. So
kind of sounded like we did.
It did. So I'm leaning towards 2, and I agree. I think
you're 2.
I think Heaven's Door was on my left and Larceny's on my right,
and that's what I wrote down. Yes.
Okay. So and in your case, you liked 1 better. And Heaven's Door is on your left also, and Larceny is on your right. So, and again, it's just a matter of if you're, it brings out a lot of black licorice, and it's just not a flavor that I like.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know how you don't.
And that's what you tell me that every time.
No, I know because it's like it's what's actually taking over all the flavor.
I'm gonna do accommodations. See what it's
no.
Like now.
Again, it's all preference. But
now it's gonna
so today will be a draw on this one. But again, thank you.
Thank you very much, Danny, because we don't see the Heaven's Door up.
Yeah. We had that one. It was a lower proof, and it was
you combine
finished and stuff like that.
Really good nose.
No, I'll tell you, the nose in the amount of different flavors in Heaven's Door win. The problem is I just didn't like the flavors that were in there.
And I get that.
It's definitely drinkable.
That's why it's always difficult sometimes with some of the Scotch or some of the malts that we get.
Right.
You know, or even a coffee one that we did.
Right.
Coffee is really not my flavor, but it's still. It was still decent.
No, right, and that's where like I actually like the ride on this one. I
don't
remember getting any of this, and that's the fun thing of doing this channel, honestly. Because we're learning as we go along. We really are. I mean, we've been doing this for years, but I still look at myself as a rookie. That's what I'm saying. So my thing is I know for a fact I didn't get these flavors when we did this last time.
I don't believe we got.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. So
correct.
As bad as my palate probably is, it is still improving, and I still are getting more and more tastes and flavors. The more we keep doing this, the more fun it is because you really do taste stuff in the same whiskey you already drank that you never got before. You know what I mean? And that's the fun part of doing it. So again, thank you, Danny, for sending in the sample. This will be a draw today, but You can't go wrong with either one of them. My only caveat is I'll be curious if you guys try this Heaven's Door or a Heaven's Door.
Combine them.
Let me know if you guys get the black licorice. Yeah, it's still, but I can actually smell it in there.
The licorice still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now smell yours and smell this one. Like it is way stronger, and this one we don't. It thinned it out for sure. But again, neither one of them are bad. So well, there you go. That's a draw. That's a subscriber sample Saturday. And we'll go back to our regular trying to pick them when we take out a new one. But I think these are fun because, these, again, something we don't see and something we can get.
Correct.
I'm curious to see if there's a dominant. And obviously it is not because you liked Heaven's Door.
I did.
And I liked Larceny.
I did actually enjoy the ride. And proof-wise, they were pretty close.
No, and that's why I kind of picked this one because I thought they were right in the same ballpark. You know what I mean?
So it wasn't, one didn't hammer the other. I don't know. I did like the variety package.
No, there you go. So that's Subscriber Sample Saturday. That's our review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Spend less, drink more. Cheers.
I do wish, though, we could get them.